Hi there, Phil again. So this tip is on maintaining tools that you use in your garden. Now it's important to take reasonable care of your tools, partly because they will last so much longer. So for example, if we look at a spade such as this, the metal part will go rusty if it's left too much in the weather and the damp. And also, if you don't store it under cover, then the sunlight will degrade the plastic parts of that, and that doesn't take terribly long at all. So I've had this spade for 30 years, I guess, and it's still perfectly good because I look after it. Notice that I do stand it upside down if I lean it against the wall. The reason is this is a concrete area. If I put the blade down on the ground, then it will blunt the edge of the tool. Now you can sharpen these tools by running an angle grinder or such like, or a file, to periodically sharpen them, but they usually keep their edge pretty well if you maintain them okay. That after you finish using them, you give them a clean down and you give them a wipe with a rag with some vegetable oil on it. That will help to maintain the edge, make the tool easy to use, and also help to preserve them from rusting. I should also mention that wooden tools, such as this hoe here, which has a wooden handle, if you left this outside for a long time, then it would eventually rot because of decomposition. So again, I've had this hoe here for, I'm not sure, 30, 40 years, and it's still in perfectly good condition. A second reason for cleaning your tools is that if you don't, then the dirt and the sap that you carry on them will transmit disease from one plant part to the next. So for example, these secateurs here, I'm cutting through wood on fruit trees. That would be a very easy way to transmit virus from one plant to another. So when I finish using them, if I clean them, that will help to prevent the transmission of the virus. A third reason for cleaning them and putting the oil on is that they will operate a lot more easily and better. So for example, the secateurs, or shears as I'm showing you, they will cut more cleanly if they have got some oil on the blade, and the same goes for the hoe that I'm showing there. Now I'm going to discuss the tools in order. First of all, cultivating tools and then pruning tools, because they are treated a little bit differently. First of all, cultivation tools. These include those with long handles, such as shovels, spades, forks and hoes. There are also short handheld tools, including hand trowels and forks and nawashi. All of these should be cleaned after use using a stiff, bristled scrubbing brush in either soapy or hose water. If the tools are dried, and this can be done by leaving them in the sun for a short while, then wipe with vegetable oil. Less wet or heavy soil will bind to their surface and cultivation will be easier. Long-handled tools in particular should be hung from pegs on the wall of a garden shed or garage. Don't sit them blade downwards on the concrete, as I mentioned before, as this will blunt the edge. My tool rack here is simply 125mm or 5-inch nails inserted into the wood. You can buy racks for the same purpose. However, I do find that the nails are adequate, as it is inconvenient to take the tool from the back if you have more than 3 of them stacked. As I have limited room here, I carefully space my nails so that I could fit the most tools along. The shovel takes up a wider space than the spade and fork, for example. My friend Dave has more room than me, so can hang his tools on individual hooks. Tools that are used with a chopping or slicing action, such as hoes or spades, can be sharpened periodically with a file or grinder. Pruning tools, secondly. Secateurs, loppers and pruning saws should be cleaned regularly during use or between plants, particularly as I mentioned with fruit trees and tomatoes. You might say tomatoes, I say tomatoes. Virus and bacteria can be readily transmitted between plants on the sap. Cleaning can be done by wiping the blades with a cloth and household bleach or isopropyl alcohol, rubbing alcohol or surgical spirit. Don't dip the tools in the cleaner, as that can remove the lubricant in the mechanism. The steel used for quality pruning tools is susceptible to corrosion or rusting, so cleaning is important. When finished the pruning session, give the edges a thorough clean, then dry them and wipe them with vegetable oil. Run the blades and secateurs with a sharpener periodically and oil the mechanism. Sharpening pruning saws is a specialist task, to be honest. When my saw becomes too blunt, I simply replace it. Here's my pruning saw here. I've had this one I think for about 8 or 10 years. And even though I have been maintaining it, you can see it is actually getting surface corrosion on it gradually. Plant sap is quite corrosive, so in another 5 years probably I would replace it. As with cultivation tools, all pruning tools should be stored in a dry environment above the ground. So that's it for this tip. I hope you got some value out of it. Don't forget to like this tip and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so, and share it with others, because this is what helps my channel to grow. Thank you very much for watching this through to the end.